And our first question here today is asking a little bit about how The Flash stands up to other multiverse movies. Chris, what do we got?
From RFD. Hey, John and crew. I know you saw The Flash at CinemaCon. Sorry, Chris. I'm not. And I was wondering how this film stacks up against other recent multiverse movies like No Way Home and Multiverse of Madness. The Flash has been my most anticipated DC movie of the past few years, except for The Batman. So I have high hopes. Thanks, and bring on the filthy.
All right. Thank you so much for writing that in. And yes, we saw Flash a few weeks ago at CinemaCon. I went into it with high expectations because you got James Gunn saying he thinks it's one of the best comic book movies ever. We had heard for 6 months, we were talking on the show about how we were talking to people connected to it that said it was pretty fantastic. So we go into it and watch it, and it exceeded all my expectations. Andy Muschietti did a tremendous job with this movie and told a wonderful story that had some emotional hook. Not as much as some other films, but exceedingly fun. An exceedingly fun, but also, again, emotionally resonant kind of a movie that was just gangbusters. I loved it. I don't think it's one of the greatest comic book films of all time, but it is one of the great comic book films. It's absolutely fantastic. I will admit something, although I've said it on the show before. I'm so over, like every single buddy is doing multiverse now. Right? You got Spider-Man multiverse. You got, Marvel is now in their multiverse saga. We got DC doing kind of multiversing. I'm really kind of over it, to be honest with you, even though I am dying to see Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, but be that as it may. I would actually say this without giving anything away. Unlike, say, Doctor Strange, The Multiverse of Madness, and unlike, say, No Way Home, Flash really is not a multiverse movie. It's any more than, say, Back to the Future was a multiverse movie. So it's really not. Now, I'm not going to go into the definitions about why I do not consider this to be a multiverse movie, although I think most people who've seen it would agree with me. But I will say this. I understand the comparison. Now, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness was a movie I liked. It didn't live up to the potential that it had, and it wasn't as good as the first Doctor Strange, but I liked it. I like Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. I really like No Way Home. How does The Flash compare to those two more recent, very big Hollywood films? Flash is better than both of them, I think. I think Flash is better than both of them. Both as Again, I don't want to call Flash a multiverse movie per se, but for the sake of our discussion, I'll use that terminology, okay? But The Flash, to me, is actually better than both No Way Home and Doctor Strange, both as a multiverse kind of film and as a movie overall. I think it beats both of them on both of those levels. Now, the best multiverse movie we've had in the last little while is, of course, Everything Everywhere All at Once. Yeah. That is the best multiverse movie there is out there. But, I mean, when it comes to the comparison of the three, this one does it. Again, I think it has better action than the other two. I think it has better humor than the other two. I think it proportionally weighs out its stakes as presented to the audience better than the other ones do. I think it's a better directed movie than the other two. And the other two, I have no complaints about the direction of the other two movies. I just think this one is really well directed, like exceptionally well directed. So I would say in comparison, I would give the nod to The Flash over those two. So that's how I would compare it. Now, Chris, you have not seen Flash.
I've not seen Batman Flashpoint.
That's right. And you know what? That is... After seeing the movie, that would be an appropriate title for the movie.
I got that confirmation from Logan, too. It's like, you are correct.
I would say that would not be far off if the movie were called Batman Flashpoint. That being said, that was the one time that we were in Vegas that you actually had a pre...
Yeah, I had to go teach.
Yeah.
Gladly, though. You guys were awesome.
So, but when you're looking at things like these multiverse movies, whether it's No Way Home, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, what sorts of elements of those movies do you think another multiverse movie like a Flash or whatever should improve upon or do maybe a little bit better of a job? What does a multiverse kind of movie need to do to work for you, do you think?
For me, I think we need to have stakes that actually resonate. right? That things that happen, losses that happen, permeate through these multiverses. And it's not just, well, we'll get another. Oh, well, we'll just start over. Well, we'll just do this.
Oh, Gamora died. No worry. Here's another Gamora.
Right. Because we have this idea, too, in comics as a whole as well, where people are never really permadead. And sometimes that can work. We love a reboot. We love to see people come back. It's really, really great. However, when it happens over and over again, and this is something that I do sometimes take, issue with some of the Marvel films and things like that of, oh, can somebody really die? That'd be a really emotional impact for me if somebody really, really died. But that being said, I think a lot of these multiverse films also, they kind of rely on the gimmick a little too much. I went into Multiverse of Madness really expecting some of those bigger world ramifications, something that really extends throughout the different universes and things like that. And ultimately, for me, this is a story that really is a more at-home kind of story, right? It really affects Steven, it affects Wanda. Throughout the multiverses, it affects Wanda on a very, very interesting and personal level. But there's not kind of this greater ramification to the universes, if you will. And I found that a little lacking. And from what I know of what happens in Flash, there seem to be some things that do have bigger consequences. And that's one of the things I liked about No Way Home, there were some big consequences across the board. So I'm hoping that I see more of that when we do multiverse stories.
It was pretty fun sitting there and watching Logan describe and reenact the entire movie of Flash for you. Okay, so then this happened, and then he said this, and he said, "Well, wait a minute there." That was an entertaining.
It's great.
Yeah, that was really good. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? What do you think the Flash needs to do for you as an audience member that would let it exceed that of Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness, Spider-Man: No Way Home, that sort of thing? Whatever you guys think about that, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Guys, we want to thank a sponsor of this video, Rocket Money. The average person has around 12 paid subscriptions. Think about that. If you think you're only subscribed to a handful of services, you might want to double check. With Rocket Money, you can quickly identify and cancel all of your unwanted subscriptions. Rocket Money, formerly known as Truebill, is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitor your spending, and helps you lower your bills all in one place. Rocket Money will quickly and easily identify your subscriptions for you so you can stop paying for the ones you don't want and don't even use. Simply find the subscription you don't want and press cancel, and Rocket Money will cancel it for you. No more long hold times with customer service or tedious emailing back and forth. Rocket Money makes canceling subscriptions as easy as the click of a button. My wife Ann and I moved out of Burbank 2 years ago, and one of the first things I discovered when I loaded up Rocket Money was that I was still paying for a gym membership I haven't even been to in Burbank in 2 years. So stop throwing away your money. Cancel unwanted subscriptions and manage your expenses the easy way by going to rocketmoney.com/Campea. That's rocketmoney.com/Campea. rocketmoney.com/Campea.